Hey guys, this is Brian with MMA the Hard Way. Wanted to check back with you, little midweek session here. Obviously the new news is the Ultimate Fighter coaches for the next season have been chosen. And they're going to have Jon Jones versus Chael Sonnen. And obviously a lot of the hardcore fans and some of the fighters are pretty upset at this decision because basically you've got Chael Sonnen coming off a loss against the middleweight champion Anderson Silva, getting a light heavyweight title shot. When there's probably three other light heavyweights that a lot of people could say deserve the shot. If you listen to what the UFC is saying in regards to the reasoning behind the decision, it's mostly, one, there's been a huge Twitter war that's brewed that started right before the UFC 151 cancellation took place, and the fact that Chael Sonnen had agreed to step up and face Jon Jones on 8 days' notice and fight him is basically, that offer is being rewarded. I think they're trying to send a message to the rest of the contenders, probably in every weight class, that, when the UFC comes a-calling, you better sit there and be willing to save an event, or you could be sent to the back of the line. We don't know how many fighters turned down that fight, but we know for sure that Lyoto Machida actually did officially turn down that fight. And thus, he's going to have to face Dan Henderson now before he gets a title shot. Dan Henderson as well has done nothing to lose his contendership other than becoming injured before UFC 151. And now he also has to get through Machida in order to get his title shot. So in a way, you could say that Machida and Henderson are being punished because of UFC 151. Jon Jones, on the other hand, hey, the fact is, he's injured until April anyways. So what they were thinking is, hey, we put both these guys on the Ultimate Fighter. Hey, Jon Jones is a very popular fighter. People are going to want to see him. Chael Sonnen is going to be a master at getting his mouth going, getting people interested in the show. They're going to have a ratings increase on the Ultimate Fighter as a result of all this. And hey, at the end of the day, Jon Jones had to fight somebody in April, and it wasn't going to be before April. So the rest of these light heavyweights would just be hanging out anyways. So why not have them compete against one another? Then, whether it's Dan Henderson, Lyoto Machida, heck, maybe even the winner of the Glover Teixeira versus Rampage Jackson fight, or Gustafsson Shogun, one of those guys is going to get the next title shot. So, if you think about it, we really do have a bit of a light heavyweight tournament going on. We have all of the top, probably 7 light heavyweights in the world about to fight one another, or at least about to be matched up into a semi-elimination match. Now, the only thing that remains to be seen is that the Shogun versus Gustafsson fight, the Henderson versus Machida fights, both of those are not happening at the same time. You could say that the first one to win one of those light heavyweight fights is the one that's going to get the shot after Chael Sonnen. I guess we'll see. I look forward to more discussions about this. We've got a couple, 2-3 weeks here before the event is going to be in full steam, so we got a lot of time to have discussions about what we think is going to happen before the big GSP versus Carlos Condit fight. So we'll be chiming in on that, and we'll be breaking down that entire card. It's a really stacked card in Montreal, so we'll be doing that as well. Look forward to hearing your comments. Bye.